are staring at the ceiling again, replaying the conversation in the dark, wondering what you did wrong, wondering why you were so easily discarded. They walked away, and you are left holding the pieces of your own shattered value. You gave them your time, you gave them your absolute energy, you gave them a level of blind loyalty they never actually earned. And how did they repay you? With indifference, with silence, with a cold shoulder that makes you question your own sanity. Stop, right now. Take a breathless moment and look at what you are doing. You are bleeding out emotionally for someone who is sleeping perfectly fine at night. This is not about them anymore. This is about you. This is about the exact moment you stop being a voluntary victim of their disregard and start becoming a master of your own emotional reality. People do not value what is freely given. This is the dark, uncomfortable truth of human psychology that modern self-help completely refuses to tell you. Society tells you to always communicate your feelings. Society tells you to be overwhelmingly vulnerable. Society tells you that if you just explain how deeply they hurt you, they will suddenly wake up, see the light, and realize your worth. That is a beautiful lie. Vulnerability to a person who does not respect you is just giving them more ammunition. It is handing a sharpened sword to the person who just cut you. When you chase them, when you demand an explanation, when you write that agonizingly long paragraph text at 2 in the morning, you are not proving your profound love. You are proving your profound desperation. You are telling them, in no uncertain terms, that your entire life revolves around their microscopic validation. And human nature is deeply, inherently repelled by desperation. We are biologically wired to respect power. We are wired to obsess over what is scarce. Right now, your attention is not scarce. It is incredibly cheap, and it is time to make your attention the most expensive, unattainable commodity on the market. Consider the immense mechanical friction of trying to force an external human being to recognize your worth through sheer persistence. Every single second you spend checking their online status, rereading old messages to find where the tone shifted, or asking mutual acquaintances how they are doing, is capital you have actively stolen from your own production line. You are operating your internal machinery with massive, catastrophic energy leaks. A sovereign man understands that outside individuals possess zero intrinsic power to validate or destroy his soul. The power shift only occurs because you have willingly walked out of your own internal citadel, crossed your own borders, and placed the keys to your chemical stability into the hands of an unpredictable stranger. You are effectively collaborating with your own deletion. When someone treats you like an option, they are performing a raw transaction. They have calculated that you are a permanent, zero-cost asset that requires absolutely zero effort to retain. They know that no matter how cold they act, no matter how long they leave you on read, you will always be sitting exactly where they left you, waiting to jump at the next crumb of attention. You must crash that calculation into the dirt immediately. 2,000 years ago, men who ruled empires understood this flawlessly. Marcus Aurelius did not sit in his battlefield tent weeping over generals who betrayed him or citizens who took his protection for granted. He commanded Rome. He stood on the freezing banks of the Danube, managing a global plague, mass economic instability, and the structural collapse of frontiers. Yet his private journal reveals a man focused entirely on a single asset, the absolute governance of his own mind. He understood that when someone disrespects you, they are not staging a logical argument. They are making a high-stakes psychological bet. They are betting that your reaction will validate their baseline superiority. They want you to be angry. They want you to show up at their door, begging for closure. They want to see you break. Because if your entire stability depends on their presence, it gives them the intoxicating illusion of total dominance. They feel like gods in your micro-universe. The moment you react, the moment you let an external insult trigger an emotional tantrum, you lose the bet completely. You have officially validated their script. The Stoic response is deeply terrifying to ordinary minds, precisely because it completely shatters the expected evolutionary playbook. The master does not throw a spectacular fit of rage. He does not launch passive-aggressive attacks or build intricate schemes of revenge. He does not demand a seat at a table where he is not welcomed. He simply removes his presence. Complete, absolute, and unapologetic removal. Think deeply about Seneca walking away from the rotting, lethal toxicity of Nero's court. He did not spend his remaining days pleading for his intellectual worth to be recognized by a tyrant. He withdrew cleanly into the deep shadows of his private estate. He focused entirely on his own soul, his own writing, and his own untouchable inner fortress. You must build that exact stone architecture inside your room today. You must become an absolute, unreadable ghost to those who did not appreciate the privilege of your physical presence. This transformation begins with the immediate, ruthless cessation of all unreciprocated effort. Silence is not just the simple absence of noise. In the mathematical realm of human behavior, silence is a devastating psychological weapon. When an individual pulls back from you, your primitive, panicked human instinct is to lean in closer, to close the gap, to chase harder. You must murder that instinct the exact microsecond it forms inside your chest. When they pull back, you do not lean in. You drop the rope entirely. You let them fall backward into the void of their own actions. You give them the heavy, suffocating, and absolute gift of your complete absence. You do not view their social media stories. You do not leave subtle hints. True detachment is entirely invisible. It is a terrifying, bottomless canyon, right where your warm devotion used to be. They are fully expecting you to break. They are sitting by their screens right now, waiting for that familiar, desperate text to pop up because it feeds their ego. You are going to take a match and burn that entire script to ashes. Days will pass, then weeks, and in that deafening, heavy silence, a tiny seed of foundational doubt will begin to germinate in their mind. They will start to wonder why you are not chasing them like everyone else does. They will start to wonder if they mathematically miscalculated your worth. But you are not doing this as a cheap manipulation trick or some shallow internet game to gain temporary leverage. This is where most frail people fail. They use no contact as a mechanical tactic, sitting by the phone, agonizing over every vibration, counting the hours, just waiting for it to ring. If you do that, you have already lost the war before the first battle has even been fought, because your mind is still completely enslaved by their ghost. You must genuinely, forcefully, and violently redirect that entire reservoir of obsessive energy inward. You take all that wasted time you spent agonizing over their mixed signals, and you pour it directly into the physical foundation of your own empire. You hit the gym until your lungs burn and the noise in your head stops completely. You read the dense, difficult books that rewire your neuroplasticity. You build your business in the dark hours when everyone else is sleeping. You refine your posture, you secure your wealth, and you master your craft. You become undeniably, visibly, and dangerously better. There is a deep, agonizing, visceral pain in being left behind or treated as an option. You must take that pain, look at it directly without blinking your eyes, and use it as raw industrial fuel for your execution. Pain is just unchanneled energy waiting for a direction. Do not waste a single drop of it crying over someone who cannot even see you. Transmute it, alchemize it into a sick, beautiful, and hyper-focused obsession with your own absolute excellence. When they eventually check up on you, and they always do check up, because the human ego cannot handle a complete vacuum. They should not find the broken, weeping person they left behind in the dirt. They should find a terrifying stranger, a stranger who is thriving violently, a stranger who has elevated so far past their trivial level of existence that they feel a sudden, crushing, breath-stealing wave of regret hit their chest. Understand the cold mechanism of human desire. Human beings are fundamentally incapable of desiring or respecting that which is permanently available, overly predictable, and desperately handed to them on a silver platter. When you break your own boundaries to double your texts, when you show up uninvited to fix things, you are devaluing your currency until it hits zero value. You are operating like a bankrupt merchant, begging consumers to take your product for free. A man of true alignment recognizes that his presence is a high-value premium resource. If the market treats your time with casual indifference, you immediately pull your supply from the shelves. You do not issue warning signs or threaten your departure. You simply exit the transaction completely. This structural withdrawal forces the other party to sit face to face with the immediate, cold vacuum left by your missing energy capital. This is the psychological law of the cold vacuum. When a space that was once filled with absolute loyalty, warmth, and reliable attention suddenly turns into a dark, impenetrable stone wall of complete silence, the human mind enters a state of panic. The ego cannot process being forgotten cleanly. It begins to invent scenarios to explain your detachment. They will assume you have found someone better, that you have locked into a high-wealth enterprise, or that you have unmasked their private toxicity. Their initial arrogance transforms into a frantic need to re-establish a connection, just to check if they still hold power over your emotions. They want a response simply to prove to themselves that your fortress can still be breached by a casual message. If you break your silence to answer them, you hand the keys right back to the tyrant. Look closely at the architecture of a true unyielding citadel. It does not possess a screen door for casual guests to drift in and out according to their convenience. It is bordered by solid blocks of granite. You must become completely unreadable to the public gallery. When people cannot map your emotions, when they cannot trace your next move on a digital screen, and when they can no longer predict your reactions, you become deeply intimidating.